And we're live. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world is. Are your favorite international English teachpreneur, favorite marketing coach of the world, Coach Melvin. And we're today joined by special guests. You've seen him before. He's bringing him back. He's going to give us an update of where he is. He's a man of value. He's got connections with Bruce Lee. He knows Kung Fu, so don't mess about with him. And he's from the UK. So we're just going to satellite link up now. Are you there? Are you there, Peter, in the UK? Hello, Peter.
Yes,
Hello.
hello, 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 hello.
Great. So, for those of you who have not met Peter, just tell us again a bit about yourself, what you do, how do you know Bruce Lee, or blah blah blah. But also, um, if you're watching live, hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, and all you flip marketers around the world, it's Peter. Hello, Peter.
Hello, hello. Great to be back. Thanks, Melvin. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. 31 degrees, a bit warmer than London, I'm sure.
Definitely warmer than here up north, anyway, that's for sure.
Yeah. So what's been happening?
Yeah, well, since there's a lot of crazy stuff going on right now. You just mentioned before, like a couple of the posts that I had put up about when I'm going to the bank, because I still run like an offline business. We've got the martial arts school, we're teaching martial arts, so we still bring in funds that way, and sometimes we have to pop into the bank, to deposit the takings for that. And and I put up a couple of posts about having to go into a bank, and I actually went in because they all want to wear these crazy masks now. So I actually put on like not a balaclava, but it was I think they call it a snood. So it came up to here, covering there, and I put a woolly hat on and a pair of dark sunglasses, so you could not see anything. I actually could hardly see. I was walking in the bank like this, I could hardly see anything.
Oh my
But a
God.
woolly hat, and I put my hoodie up and I was like this, and I walked into a bloody bank, Now, fair enough, I was putting money in, but it's like, can you imagine even like what, 7, 8, 9 months, whatever it would be ago, if you'd walked into like that, you'd have got shot, man.
Yeah.
You would have security guards jumping on you, dragging you out, pinning you at the floor. The alarms would have been going off. Insanity. And I put the post up to bit there. Not everybody got the joke. I don't think, like, oh yes, be safe, be safe. Get away from it, man. But and then like last week I did it again, but I just went in like this, I went in.
Yeah.
But it was funny enough, and the woman behind the till, it was a woman this time. First time was a bloke, a man. And this woman, she went, "It's lovely to see someone without a mask."
Yes.
So, right, okay, excellent. And the thing is, she didn't have one on. Fair enough, they've got this glass thing in front of them, but she's got this badge, massive. It's like this huge big badge stuck on there saying, "I can't wear a mask. I have a hidden disability." I thought, what a crime. Like, you actually have to have, if you have got a hidden disability, you can't breathe properly with a mask on. You have to have this ridiculous looking badge to say so. I mean, like, in any other world, imagine like walking up and saying, "Please tell me what disability you've got before I let you in." Just because you're in a wheelchair means nothing to me. Tell me what's wrong with you before I let you in. It's the same thing. It's like discrimination,
Yeah.
And this is what the world has turned into, affiliate marketing or not affiliate marketing. I know we'll get into that bit, but it all ties in with what I've got to say anyway. But it's just absolute madness, what they're actually trying to do. I mean, we had spoken before privately and everything, but if anyone's listening, what you want to do is to check out, it's either called the Barrington Statement or the Barrington Report. Now, this is a statement by literally thousands upon thousands of the top professionals in the world, health professionals, all talking about what this actually is and telling you how you can actually combat it and how you can actually beat it yourself by good health, good diet and having a good, you've heard the name hydroxychloroquine, zinc, and vitamins D3 and C. And all you have to do is have a good diet, make sure you have them supplements, make sure you drink plenty of water, and make sure you're healthy and you're building what we call your immune system. Ever heard of that? Your immune system?
Yeah.
That is how you're actually going to beat any kind of virus. Now, health-wise, we should be looking about health anyway. If we want to work properly, we want to be online. You haven't got anyone talking to you, like, you know, like how you work and what you're doing on your job. You've got to look after yourself. If you've got to be online, you've got to get on your computer. It's up to you. You have to get your emails. It's up to you. You have to get your posts. It's up to you. You have to do your work. There's nobody to tell you what to do. So if you let go of everything else and you don't look after your health, then, you know, it's gonna fail. You know, it's all tied in, really, isn't it? You know, it's still you're your own boss, but it comes with massive responsibility of looking after yourself and your loved ones. You know, you can't just say, "Oh, it's going to be magical. I'm going to make loads of money. Nobody tells me what to do." You know, but you've got to tell yourself what to do, and you've got to be the most stubborn, nastiest boss ever when you're talking to yourself. That's for sure.
Yeah, like people are, I think, disillusioned, or you know, they're sold the idea. Oh, you're going to be on the beach just with an internet connection, making tons of cash. That's not the reality. Working from home, you got to put the work in, right? You got to put in the effort, and especially if you've got a traditional business like you have, and this is how we connected. You got all these restrictions in place, government laws or restrictions. I mean, let's touch on that. What was happening recently? I mean, you've got to wear a mask now. So, what other restrictions or struggles are going on in the UK that's affecting your business right now? Let's talk about that.
I don't know if like I mean, I know you've got a lot of an American audience, but like in the UK, right, they'll definitely know what the north-south divide is. All right, now, all the politicians and all the rich people, they all live down south, right? London, Surrey, around that area. So where all the money is, where they keep putting all the industry, right? And up north, right, we used to have a lot of industry, shipbuilding, coal mining, and they shut it all down. Right, they shut it all down in the 80s and the 90s, crippled the whole of the north of the UK. Massive unemployment, you know, like degradation. You had like you know, like poverty, like unknown. Now, right, this year, if you look at a map, you can actually see a line across it there between north and south. And on the north, what they're trying to do is to shut the entire thing down. So like pubs are shut, restaurants are shut, shops are shut, everything is shut, right? They're trying to shut the gyms. Now, what is heartening, really heartening, and you have a mayor, he's called Andy Burnham, and he is the mayor of Greater Manchester, which is an enormous area. And he's got like lesser mayors, if that's the correct way of putting it, of the smaller boroughs or towns, but are tied to Manchester. You know, which like takes about, like Lancashire is a huge county. I mean, not compared to places in America, but you know, it's a huge county and a lot of towns in, and all these people have grouped together. And what they said, the government, the UK government, you know, Boris Johnson, and what a cock, you know, they've said, we're not giving you anything to help. We're not going to give, like, you know, replace the income of the people that are losing their jobs, losing their businesses. Like, will be mine, you know, my gym. Right, but you're shutting everything. So they went on TV and just went, no, we're not. Stop us. So, and you're having a big fight back now, which is what we want to see. We want to see the people like standing up to the government and saying, look, right, if you want me to shut, then pay us. If you're not going to pay us, then shut up and get on with your own life, because you're not going to shut down our life. Because that's what they're doing. The amount of people that they're actually having dying of a virus is far less than what they're having dying because they were locked down, because they didn't have any medical attention. The amount, what they've done is anyone that had a cancer treatment due, they cancelled. Now, loads of people have died because of cancer, way more than what any fake virus. You know, they've got loads of people there that were due to get actually diagnosed, cancelled. So all the ones there, they're getting fully blown cancer because they didn't get early treatment, because they just cancelled everything. So the actual deaths are skyrocketing, suicides are through the roof. Kids, man, you know, teenagers and young, like 19, 20, 21, the suicide rate is phenomenal. And all of this is not getting talked about. That, you know, they're trying to pretend all these massive death rates from something called COVID-19. What they're doing is what I found out now, right? Anybody under 60, that you could only have COVID-19 on the death certificate the amount of deaths in the whole of the UK, what would you say that was?
Oh dear, I don't know. Well, tell me.
350. 350 under 60 years of age with
Oh.
only put COVID on, nothing else. Because the ones that you actually haven't seen dying, right, that are like 80 and above, have got loads of other, like, obviously you're older, right, you're all weaker system anyway, but they've also got a lot of other health problems. It's every death's a tragedy. I'm not saying anything like that,
Yeah.
but thousands of people die every day. Thousands getting born, thousands dying. That's the circle of life. But 350 under 60, that is the number there that died that you could only have COVID on. Now, that's a fact reported even on the BBC. And if they're reporting on the BBC, you can guarantee they didn't want to, right? Because they're the most corrupt thing that you ever meet in your life. But there's 400 people a year die of drowning in the UK. 400 a year. Again, terribly tragic. I don't know how it happens, but that's the statistics. So you've got more chance of dying by drowning than you have of this COVID-19 thing. And you would have to be ill, right, to actually really worry about it. What you should definitely do is look after the people that are frail, the older people, the ones that have got illnesses. Make sure you look after them. Everyone who is not sick, who is normal, let them be normal. Let them go and live their life. You know, I mean, we still run a gym, right? And we're still running a gym. Now, I've seen a lot of broadcasts from gym owners, which I was cheering, and they got invaded by armed police. Armed police going into somebody in the gym working out. I mean, that is just pure insanity. Come on.
Yeah.
But the gym owner said, we're not closing. We're not doing it. And they grouped together, and they even went to the police stations, and they says, we're not closing. You can keep coming back. Issued, do you know what they were getting issued with? £10,000 fine. £10,000 fine. But the thing is, it's 100% illegal, right? I don't know if you ever had a fine before or anything, but a policeman cannot give you a fine. It's completely illegal. And the only way it can actually stand up in anything is if you sign it, accept it, and say, yes, I'm guilty, give me it. All you got to do is say, right, well, let's go to court, we'll sort it. As soon as you do that and protest against it, they throw it away. Now, I know friends that this has happened to. So, you know, you're actually stopping. We're online here to try and build a life, build a business, right? These people are actually going out of the way to stop people making a business and running a life.
Yeah.
So these gym owners, and they've got like backup by the police, because they're not all bad, you know, and they say, look, well, if you do this, 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 and this, we'll make sure your gyms don't close. And more people are standing up. You know, and that's what we need to do. We need to stand up against what is basically now a tyrannical government. You'd never believe anything. Yeah, like, you know, you're not allowed to hug your family.
That's silly.
You know, now they've got a curfew, right? So now you've got to go out and go home at 10 o'clock at night. So now you've got like a virus with a watch on. It'll only get you if you stay out late. Huh?
That's crazy.
I mean, like, come on. So, like, you know, you're going to lock people up in the houses. If you're locking them up in the houses, you just said, what was it, 31 degrees where you live?
Yep.
So it must be nice and sunny and everything.
Yeah.
You want to help with your immune system. I was talking about the vitamins and everything. One of the most important ones was D3. Get out in the sunshine.
Yeah.
Right? Get out in the sunshine. Take your this is not my jumper. Look, my jumper's up here. Yeah. Take your sleeves off and get a little bit of sun. And it's going to pump you full of like D3, and it's going to help build up your immune system. That is what's going to keep you healthy, right? Not locking yourself in your house and not being able to see anybody and not interacting, you know? I mean, we teach children, adults as well, but like much more children. And when we were locked down for 4 months, we did online training, and we did try to keep everyone going, which was very hard on them, you know? And then we went around and seen them all. And the parents who we were talking to, and they were saying their children were depressed. Their children were down.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're doing it like to try and, like, I think, just try and suppress the people. But I do think, you know, you're seeing it build up and build up and build up. And I think eventually what you're going to get is the heroes that are going to be standing up, that are in the community. There's like that Andy Burnham and the gym owners that I know that have been standing up and going out and saying, we're not closing. Enough is enough. I haven't even got any medical evidence. Like, if you see, like I said, on the Barrington report or the Barrington statement, they've got like a massive amount of evidence and documented evidence by professors and experts and doctors, like not some guy sitting in the government with fluffy hair, but like, you know what I mean? Like half the time, like drunk because they've all got their own bar, even though they shut hours at 10 o'clock and everyone has to go home. Right, they've got their own bar with cheap alcohol. They can sit there smoking and just do anything they want all hours of the night. You know, different rule sets for everyone. But this report from all them doctors, it just says that, you know, it's like a bad flu. And you have to be careful of flu every year. You know, it's in the UK, all the death rates, like nobody died of flu this year in the UK. Nobody died of old age this year in the UK. Nobody died of heart attacks this year in the UK, apparently. You know, they've completely and utterly fudged the numbers to make this a pandemic. You know, it's a scam-demic is exactly what it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the question. What is really going on in the UK? A lot of conspiracies. You know, we can only see what we see. What do you reckon? What's your take on this? You know, what is really going on? Pete, feel free to share. Go on.
I know a lot of different things that are going on that I know, but like I don't want to be telling too much because people would probably think I was absolutely crazy, or they would just get too scared, either one or the other. But you know, there's definitely got, if you've got like literally genuine scientists right the way from around the world, and they actually go to the UK government, right, and say, look, this is the results that we've got. We've been analysing the coronavirus, CV-19, whatever you want to call it, SARS-2. They've got all these different names for it now, but the SARS-2 is really what the scientific name's coming back to it now. And they're saying we've got the statistics, we know who it can be bad for, we know who it isn't bad for, and it's not bad for like 99% of the population. Like the survival rate on there is something like, it's like 99.9% or something. It's such a small percentage, and if you treat it, and they're telling you and they've got the lists of it, but it's like hydroxychloroquine, vitamin D3, vitamin C, you know, and if you're taking this and you've got a good, normal, healthy diet, keep fit, come and see me. I'll help you get down the gym. We'll keep you fit.
Yeah.
A long drive for you, I suppose, but everyone else can come along. But and they've got all these statistics. So they're saying this straight to the government and straight to what they call the government's health advisors, which they just completely 100% ignore. Now that is weird. That's strange. They have their own agenda. They have their own plans, and they're ignoring all the advice of the top experts in the country. I went down to London to protest against this, right? Although I'll deny it if you ever give it to any of the police. I wasn't there. But they had a doctor called Heiko Schunning from Germany. And he went to tell everyone, just like he's one of the most respected Germans in Europe, doctors, sorry, in Europe and in Germany. And they arrested him. They aggressively, nastily arrested him and kept this doctor locked up with no charges for 22 or 23 hours, something like that. And eventually released him. No charge, nothing. Oh, sorry, get out, go away. And he's obviously taken all the police to court. He's taken the government to court. But he's also actually put in, he's linked to another group of very, very high solicitors or lawyers, whatever you would call them. I'll tell him about the UK barristers in a minute, but these are Germans. Now, they've successfully sued the Deutsche Bank, the German bank. Right. And that'll be gone soon. There's a prediction. I'll tell you what now. You will see the disappearance, right, of the Deutsche Bank. It's going to go. Wow. You'll not see it anymore. The German central bank, and which will also make the EU disappear. You watch it. Peter Wilson told you this. The Deutsche Bank first, the EU second, all gone. Wow. Now they also prosecuted successfully Volkswagen, the car people. For all of the illegal things that it had done, and successfully by millions and millions of euros, it was not pounds or dollars, euros, successfully sued them. The same group of very experienced, very successful lawyers are actually taking the German government to court for fraud, criminal fraud, and crimes against humanity, which carry prison sentences. Right, not a dollar amount or a pound amount or a euro amount. Paying, you're going to prison. They're taking the German government to court, and as soon as they've done that, they're also taking the UK government to court, right? And this is for fraud, criminal fraud, and crimes against humanity. You know, I've wrote to my own MP, and I've really told him, look, I'm going to make sure, I'll make it my life's mission to make sure you go to prison for everything you've done. You know, it's like, because they sent all of our elderly out of hospital when this first started back in March and April, and they sent them into care homes, and they all died. You know, they were in hospital for treatment. They sent them back into the care homes, no treatment, and they put on do not resuscitate orders on all of them. So whenever they went ill, you know, because they'd stopped the medication, they got ill, they went, don't give them anything to help them, let them die. So another group, and it's coming from the group, a company called the Benician. The Benician. Now, again, they've got one of the top barristers companies in London, the ones with wear the wigs and the silk things, you know, the really fancy looking lawyers that you see on TV. So, you know, if you get like drunk driving and you need a lawyer, you know, these guys are like barristers, the right Queen's Counsel, they call them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they've actually taken on the case because they said we can prove this, and they're taking them, the UK government, but not the government, they're taking the individual people, the individual MPs by name, right, including Boris Johnson, right, all the way down, and they've actually already issued them with criminal citations for fraud, genocide, and crimes against humanity. And the bank is 100%, like they've looked at the case and we can prove it. We can put these people in prison. So this is from the Benician report. So that is going to be incredibly interesting. Again, I've funded it. I've put money in for it so that they can actually take it forward. And there's also another guy called Simon Dolan, who's a millionaire businessman from the UK, and he's got lots of big businesses in the UK, has factories, that type of thing, but he lives in Monaco. You'll know the reasons why he lives in Monaco. But so he's also set up a prosecution, which again, another different barrister has actually took, and when we can prove this definite, and they're taking the whole government as a whole to court. So that's a civil case, not criminal. But the Benician and the German ones, that is criminal against the physical names of the people, not against the governments. So that is the difference, where they'll get held responsible personally, and if found guilty, which they are guilty, you can see the evidence is crazy against them, they got jail time.
Oh.
That would be enjoyable. That would be nice to watch.
It's a crazy world. But I mean,
what's going on. That's what's going on in the UK right now. They're having like protests every single day. And the thing is, what they're doing is, I know the organisers, and I've been on some of them, and it's all like, it's got to be peaceful. We want no like violence. We want nothing wrong or anything like that. And you should see the riot police coming in. When I was there was like little children playing, you know, because it was a huge group, thousands of people. And then there was little children playing. There was pregnant women walking around. There was like women pushing prams and little buggies with children in, babies in.
Yeah.
And the riot police stormed in, and they were hitting people that had the nightsticks out, hitting people. You're thinking, hang on a second, you've just had a Black Lives Matter protest, and you actually knelt down for them. And they were tearing statues down, smashing shops up. And this is in the UK. And they actually attacked the police. They knocked some policewoman off a horse, right, through a flare, hit the horse. The woman fell off the horse. She was lucky she didn't die, falling from that height, right? The horse charged into another group of police and everything, mayhem, because the horse got terrified by the flare.
Yeah.
Right? And this is the Black Lives Matter, which I've got no political worries about them whatsoever. But I'm just saying, they allowed it, they supported it, and they even knelt down for it. And then you had this peaceful protest with women and children, like, you know, they were actually saying prayers, for God's sake, you know, saying the Lord's Prayer, Our Father who art in heaven, and then he attacked them, like, you know, drawing their bands out and hitting people. What's the difference?
It's crazy.
You know, like,
it's crazy.
There's a guy called Sadiq Khan.
Yeah.
And he's the mayor of London.
Yeah.
And again, I'm part of another group who are trying to, I'm not from London, so I can't vote on it, but there's a guy called David Curtin, and he's going up for mayor next year. I think they're voting it in. And he did question time, like, you know, because I have a mayor's question time every week, I think it is. Maybe it's a month, but every week. And they videoed it. And he was saying, well, why did you like allow the Black Lives Matter and no police bothered? And why did you have the police attack, you know, an innocent group of people on a peaceful protest? He just wouldn't answer. He's just sitting there looking like a dumb idiot that he is, you know. And he went, well, you weren't allowed to have any groups there because it said you weren't allowed to have a group of 30. Anyone over 30 and would notify the virus is going to get you know. And he said, well, all right, fair enough. The very next day, after the police attacked our group, that guy, that David Pretend, who's the politician, he was there speaking, right? He was a witness to the police, you know, so he's not just making it up. He was actually there physically. And he said the very next day that you had the Muslims protest and march through London, where there was thousands of them. So if you're not allowed 30, why did you let that one happen? And why didn't you let like ours without getting like violently attacked by the police? So, you know, I mean, and then he's the mayor. He's sitting there with no answer, no logical answer. You know, so this is the craziness that we've got in the UK right now. I know, well, only by listening to people. You know, I've got a lot of connections. Not much on Facebook. I do it for business, but I don't really do any other, like, I don't do social media. I only do business media. But like I hear through other streams where I'm tied to groups and everything like that, that Australia is getting it even worse. The insanity that you've got is pure tyrannical. It's got nothing to do with a virus. It's got nothing to do with protecting people. That's the craziness thing. So you're going to smash everyone up with a big group of riot police, and then you're going to say, why did you do that? We're trying to look after you. We're trying to save you and protect you. The only thing we need protecting from is you charging him with your helmet on and a big stick. You know, you're nuts.
So Peter, so the ultimate question is then, all right, so you've got a traditional business. Let's tie it back to business very quickly before we wrap it up. I've got people ringing me. America's waking up by the sounds of it. So how does it affect your traditional business? How does it affect your traditional business right now, your offline? But how does it now affect your online business? What are the differences, like the pros and cons? Can you just tell us about that?
Well, obviously you're going to get they're trying to shut down the businesses, the physical businesses like the gym. So they are trying to shut it down. So that can affect it. But you know, ours is actually building really nicely, which is a good online thing because I'm building it. I'm not advertising it whatsoever, apart from on my mailing list. So we're sending out mails shots to the mailing list, which should be online and offline. Every business should have, and the response is phenomenal. You know, we're actually booked up with like private intro classes to get everybody ready to go into the normal classes. You know, for the sessions in the gym. So you know, although it is a physical business, we're using online methods for the offline business. You know, brilliant. So like email is important no matter what you do, really. You know, if you've got any type of business.
Okay, and so how many children can we have, or how many people can train in the gym at one time? Is it 6?
No, we're allowed, because it's classed as a children's after-school activity. So in the UK, you're allowed 15. So we divide the classes up into 15. So we do it over 6 days, Monday through to Saturday, and we've got like earlier classes 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, and there's 15 in each class Monday through to Friday, Monday through to Saturday, or at least Monday through to Friday at those times, and then the Saturday morning, and just 15 in each. So we just had to spread them all out, whereas normally we'd have 30, 40 in a class. Now it's kind of spread out.
Okay, good. So 15 children. Okay, so guys, if you're watching in the UK or if you're watching America, UK are now allowing gyms like Peter's to have 15 children at one time. Let us know in the comments how many children you're allowed, because in Myanmar right now, schools remain closed. Our schools remain closed. We can't reopen until further notice. It's annoying because I love teaching. I love kids. I love working with adults. And I suppose your restrictions are basically you're working at half capacity in overall, aren't you? And it's affecting cash flow because you can only have so many people in at one time. Obviously, as a business, you've got cash flow restrictions because you're now limited numbers. Any other restrictions that are frustrating or annoying right now, apart from the situation with government and anything else? Is there like they have to wear masks while training? It's protective.
No. Yep. No, I mean, you know, they're coming out with all these different, you know, for a fact, wearing a mask is incredibly unhealthy. They've got all, again, medical facts that saying you should not be wearing a mask. It's actually really bad for your health. You know, but like yesterday we had a woman coming in with a child for the first, we have to do, because of, we have to do private intro classes because we're not allowed parents in. We used to always have the parents watching. Now we're not allowed them in because it's not.
Oh, so no parents. Okay.
So we have to bring them in privately because I'm not going to have somebody drop the child off that I've never met, that don't know me, and they might get upset halfway through. So we do it privately, where I do a little bit of introduction, tell them what we do, who we are, show them around the school, and then do just 5 minutes of training. And then if they're happy with everything, then say, right, now the class is about to start, get in with the rest of the kids. And then we'll have to take the parent back out, and then all the other parents have dropped their kids off, and I have to go and stand in the car park. Winding, raining, pouring. I have to go in the car park, get all the kids in. Janine, my wife, she's in the classroom. So I send them in, you know, and she looks after them in there till we've got all 15 in. So I'm running backwards and forwards. So I've got a lot of extra work that I have to. It's not hard, is it? But it's just like makes everything longer, complicated.
Yeah.
But the woman comes up, and we've got a big building, and it's like this business here, this business there, my business here, and a big corridor that you go into. So she's putting this mask on. I went, "You're not allowed that in here." And she went, "Thank God for that." Thinking, hey, you know, they've actually got a sign, because behind me is a nursery, and they've got a sign saying, "Legally, you should wear a mask." And I'm dying to rip it off, but I can't. And I want to write on it, it's not law, and it's not legal. You know, it's not. It's an act, and an act is not a law. There's nothing that the government have actually put through that is a law, because the House of Lords haven't decreed it, and the Queen hasn't signed it because she's not even here anymore. So, yeah, you know, it's an act advised by one guy, Boris Johnson, a tyrannic leader sitting in London, right? So it ain't law and it ain't an act. But we refuse to allow them to have masks on. And anyway, if you're in training, you shouldn't have a mask on anyway. They are allowed to train without a mask no matter what. But all these kids as well are also most of them in this class are under 11. So again, they don't have to have masks on if they're under 11. But I just point blank refuse to wear one anyway. You know, it is what it is. I went down to London for that demonstration on the train. I didn't have a mask on. The woman serving me all my tea and coffee, because I was in first class, so you get it all for free. Well, you're not free, you've paid it and your ticket. But, you know, you don't have to go physically go to the shop. But then when I went down to down the train, I wanted to go to the toilet and stretch my legs. And there's this woman there, and she's like, you know, "Where's your mask?" I just went, "It's none of your bloody business, is it?" You know, I mean, even on the government website, you can see it. It says you're not allowed to question people, because you don't know if they've got a physical disability or not, just because they don't look at it. So but you get all these mask police, don't you? Like, you know, "Where's your mask?" On the end of my finger.
That's what you say. It's a frustrating time, I'm sure. I know there are people in the UK that refuse to wear a mask. It's all a load of baloney. They say it's a form of control. They say something's going on. We don't know. We know what's going on. We got some idea. We're not born yesterday. I know there's protests happening. There's people, affiliate marketers, top sharing their lives. People and they're fine. They're in London doing their thing normally, telling people to take their masks off. But it's not on the news. It's not making the news. So what is going on? That's, you know, I do miss the UK, but it's sad to see the streets of London empty, because they're putting fear in people's lives to stay at home, and
creating fear for people. But we asked the police. You know, there was hundreds and hundreds of police all like surrounding us when we were doing the demonstrations, and we just thought, okay, well, let's think about it logically then. I'm asking you as a person, right? You've never been away. You've got masks on now. All the police had masks on. All the other demonstrations, they didn't have masks on. They put it on when the hysteria team come in, when we look at Freedom Rally. Oh, please put the mask on. I actually watched them put them on round the corner. So they had like been driven down and walked down, and they put them on when they were getting filmed by the local news, not the national news, because the mainstream media won't put anything, you know, apart from what they're told to do, what they're paid to do by Bill Gates. That's why this whole thing is just purely about Bill Gates wanting to vaccine everybody, nothing else but that. But and we said to the police, well, tell me one single person. You've been working all together all these months, you know, nearly 6-7 months. Tell me one single policeman out of or woman out of like the London Met that's actually died through it. And they're all just look at me going, because no one has. So these people have been working together all this time, and they didn't have masks on. They only put them on for the rally, right? Yeah. And if it was really as deadly as what they're trying to say, then they'd all be dead. They'd all be dead. I mean, when you see Black Lives Matter, for instance, and it had thousands of people, well, how comes it if from what they were saying, the next week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, then all of them should have been dead then? There was thousands of them all together.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and then when I went on, which is a month ago, whatever, anyway, a while ago, then, you know, all of them should be dead as well. I should be dead, you know, but it's ridiculous. You know, it's fake, right? There is a virus, but you were made up of thousands of viruses. A human is thousands of viruses, right? That's how you live. But it is literally, and you can ask a medical professional that's not on TV, it's literally medically impossible for a human to pass on an activated virus to another human. It doesn't work that way. That's not how it works. Even with the Spanish flu, all those years ago, they actually tried hard on an experiment to make 100 soldiers sick and die of the flu, and they couldn't make them catch it. And they put them in with an infected person. Couldn't catch it. But, I mean, that's not on the news, is it? You know, but it's a historical stated fact. Check it up. Get everyone out, research it for yourself. Don't listen to me. You know, look for the Barrington report. You know, look for like the medical proof of everything. It's out there. Just the governments will not take any notice of it because they've got their agenda. They've been paid millions and millions of pounds and dollars by Bill Gates and his corrupt foundation.
Unnecessary fear, I think, is the summary of that. I mean, you know, I'm from the UK. You're from the UK. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's affected businesses, big and small, medium, you name it. It's upsetting because, you know, at this time of year, you want to be a family. Christmas is around the corner. Summer holidays, July was upsetting. Our businesses were affected. Your businesses have been affected. So really, let's just end on a positive note. So some of you are at home, stuck at home, getting depressed. Peter says get some sunlight. Those that are worried about making money online, Peter's got an online business. Peter, just quickly tell us in a nutshell, what is it you do then? Because you are doing stuff online. You say it's called affiliate marketing. Tell us more about that very quickly.
Well, I mean, I actually help people. If they want to get started on affiliate marketing, I can help you build up an income of 10 grand a month. I've got fantastic training. I work with a mentor myself, and, you know, I can put you in touch with him. You can even have a chat with him on the phone, all free, no obligation, and he'll go over everything. And I'm telling you, if you want to learn how to do it from scratch, you've never done it before, right? You'll get learn from the bottom, going all the way up, all these incremental steps to learn the basics, going up and getting better and getting better and getting better. And it's kind of a thing of you earn while you learn, you know. So it's a great system like that. And you know, and obviously we'll get like support from myself as well as support from the main mentor as well. And that's really it. But also like teaching you like the more advanced techniques, because once you start, all you want to do is like learn how to get online. But you've got, like I've just mentioned before, all of the students that I've been bringing in, brand new students from my mailing list, which I've been collecting over years at my offline business. But also on the online business, I got loads of sales this month, and I never even spoke to the people, you know, because it's all through the mailing list that they're coming back to me, like, you know, and they're just clicking on a button that's in the mail. They're receiving the email. Oh, I like the look of that. Click on it, and you're getting the sales. And I have obviously done something. I've prepared it all, but I haven't sat there and spoke to anyone. I haven't like ran around and tried to see these people, and there's still money coming in. So this is the beauty of not only online marketing, but also really concentrating on the mailing side. And there is something I want to say.
Yes.
Just when I'm thinking about it, I've been speaking to a lot of high-level people that are in certain jobs in the world, a lot of them in America and a lot in Spain. And I've been posting about this, and people don't really think, I don't know what, they come back with some funny comments. I'm telling you now, if do not rely on one marketing platform to try and get any kind of business going. Because now there are certain platforms on the social media front that have been doing a lot of naughty stuff, bad stuff, and they are in big danger, thinking they're too clever right, they are in big danger of being wiped off completely, and you'll never see them again. I know that everyone thinks that these platforms are huge and they've been around like for a long time. You know, I mean, actually not that long. I mean, I remember I moved out to Spain in 2007, and there was no such thing as Facebook or any of these platforms. It didn't exist, you know. And I remember talking about it and people telling me what, like, oh, get on this one, get on that one. I've never heard of it before, you know. But email marketing has been around for a long time, and it will stay around because, you know, you can move your email like platform from one to the other, and it's always going to be there. But social media platforms, make sure you're backing your business up. Make sure you're building a big email list, because social media platforms go. And there are a few now that have been subpoenaed for criminal activities, and there's certain people that are extremely angry, that are in extremely powerful places, that either want to A, take it over completely and run it as a state-run thing, which would be a good thing for us, or B, though, wipe it off. So, like, all I'm saying is, mark my words, back up everything that you're doing. Don't rely on one platform, right? If you build your email list before anything else, no matter if you're on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, even, all those things, create an email list. Even on YouTube, you know, I mean, they've been a bit naughty, and you know, there's other video channels out there we should be looking at as well. And you've got to think of different things and back up your business. Make sure you've got more than one string to your bow, because the end of 2020, the beginning of 2021, there's going to be some very scary changes, but there's also going to be some phenomenal changes, and it's going to be good for everybody that listens. Good. Yes. And honestly, the general public, anyone's going through a hard time now, I know it gets scary and you've got these restrictions and masks. It's all going to go away, and it's going to go away very, very soon.
So change. Thank you, Peter. So change is, you know, I heard this when I was at the banks. The bank manager, I remember, on a Friday morning said, the only thing that's constant in life is change. And we have to always adapt, always be prepared for change. And he then was no longer in a branch manager. He moved on to another branch, and that was his leaving speech. It was a very sad time, because he got me the job at the bank many years ago, and he was now moving on. And this is what the banks do. They keep shuffling the management. And it was a sad time, but change in general, people are scared of change. People should embrace change. We had to adapt. You know, we've gone online. You've made the changes. You've got like an online business now, affiliate marketing business. You now got your traditional gym working at half the capacity. Is there any other tips you want to share with people that are just in a bit of a panic? Like, what do I do? I've got no job. My income is very small. My savings is almost going. Any other tips you want to give to people, like health tips or wealth tips, before we go?
Well, definitely on the health side, make sure that it doesn't matter. You can eat healthily on a small budget. You don't have to have a lot of money. Make sure if you've got the possibility, get into sunshine. All right, don't be locking yourself up in a house. And even if you have to hang out the window, if you're not allowed out on the street from your government or whatever, but get yourself. Make sure that you're getting. If you can't get hydroxychloroquine, make sure you're getting zinc, vitamin D3, and they have to be combined. Zinc and D3 have to be combined, and it's going to help build your immune system up. And make sure they got like vitamin C as well. All right, and try and like drink plenty of water, plenty of good clean water. I have a drink, especially at the weekend. I'm not saying don't drink alcohol, but make sure that you limit it, and make sure that you get plenty of water all the other times, and make sure it's clean in your system, and get them vitamins. It's got to be healthy, because that's the only thing that's going to really help you. It's just the flu, but the flu can kill you. You know, I mean, I've actually caught flu once, and this is years ago. We couldn't walk for a week, and I was a professional fighter at the time, so I was extremely fit, extremely healthy.
Yeah.
It took us a month before we could get back to being normal. We had to get other people to run the gym for us. And honestly, me and Janine wiped us out for a month, and we were young and fit, you know, still young. But, you know, I'm just saying, so like, you know, there is illnesses that can wipe you out completely. And if you haven't been eating a good, healthy diet and looking after the vitamin side, it can kill you. Simple as that. It doesn't have to be COVID-19. You know, a normal flu. Well, nothing's normal, but the flu can wipe you out. But also, if you're worried about income, then make sure that you don't rely on anybody to pay you, right?
Yeah.
Don't rely on a job just over broke. Get yourself onto an online business, right? And if you're scared of online business, you can talk to somebody like myself, like Melvin, right? And get yourself on there and create an income that you can build yourself and rely on you. And if you truly like think, I can't afford it, I know a lot of people say that and they can, right? But if you're really worried about it, there are other ways that you can actually start off on a smaller one and learn slower and build it up like that way. But anything's better than doing nothing and sticking your head in the sand and saying it'll be okay.
Yeah.
There are some huge financial changes that are going to happen in the next 2 to 3 months as well. Going into 2021, you're talking about the banking thing. You're going to see some massive banking and financial changes for the better. If you have got a little bit of money, then get yourself, into online business, but get a mentor. I'll help you find a mentor, right? And get into online business. But on top of that as well, if you want and you've got spare money and you're worried about where to put your money, start investing in gold. Gold. I'll tell you now, it's the most stable thing from the entire history, from whoever didn't have gold, kings, queens, going all the way back. And I'm telling you that gold is
precious metals.
Precious metals, gold, silver, platinum, precious metals. But you're going to see a big influx in it. I mean, some of the people I was talking to expecting it over a year period, 12-month period, to maybe even quadruple. But there's going to be a big jump quite soon as well. So it'd be better buy it now, because even if you had it and it didn't work, you can always sell it back. You're going to get your money back in gold. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not property or anything like that. It's beautiful. I've got solid gold bars. It's beautiful to look at.
Brilliant. Thank you, Peter. So there you have it, guys. That's an update from the UK. A real life situation shared by Peter and his experience in the UK. Some golden nuggets, tips, shall we say, on what we can do. If you're worried about your health, there's some good tips. Drink water, zinc. Was it D3 you said? What was that word?
Vitamin D3 and vitamin C.
D3. Yeah. Again, you can reach out to Peter. He's available on Facebook. We'll send the link out for his Facebook. He's got a group. He's got a gym. He's still going strong. Look, and he looks younger than me. Look at him. He's looking great. So, guys, let's not give up. It's not all doom and gloom. There's just unnecessary palavers going on that's creating a headache for everyone in London, UK, and the rest of the world. So just be healthy, stay healthy, get some sunlight, as you said, drink some water. Peter, it's a pleasure having you on the show as always. We'll catch up again next week or when you're free for a full update. I would just love for things to go back to normal. We can have a Nando's or something in your bar or somewhere. I'll come see you do a workout. Just remind us, whereabouts are you from again in the UK? You're from up north, right?
North, yeah, Northumberland. It's actually even above Newcastle. So Newcastle upon Tyne, a very famous city. If you ever heard of Hadrian's Wall or the Roman Wall, right, where the Romans came over in whatever AD, they built a huge wall right away from one end of the country to the other. We live above that. We're the people we're trying to keep out.
But look, as you can see, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, Peter's a lovely guy, okay? He's not a scary man. Yes, he knows Kung Fu. He's been a fighter. He's been on Sky Sports, but he's a lovely gentleman. And I tell you what, I can't wait to meet him in person. And one day we will meet in person, have a beer, have a Nando's, have a little workout, And I hope things go back to normal. And I think things get better. And again, we'll stand by for another update. But Peter, that's it. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much. You're a gentleman. You're a diamond geezer. What more can I say? So, as always, until next time, thank you for being on the show. Any other lasting words before you want to go? Anything else you want to say to the people watching?
Just make sure you keep yourself buoyed up. Keep happy. Don't let them all get on top of you, and don't let yourself get down. You have to be bright. You have to keep them demons away from you. Get your spirit open and just breathe deeply, and we'll all get through this. We will.
Yes.
It will get better.
Yes. Thank you, Peter. So that's it, guys. Keep positive. Keep fighting on mentally, physically. Peter, it's an absolute pleasure again. Till then, thank you very much. Take care, boys and girls.
Lovely.
Bye now. Bye-bye.
See you later.
See you later.